There are two AP voters who slotted Florida not first, second, third, or fourth. They had them fifth on their ballots this week. One of those voters is Doug Lesmerises. He covers football, covers the Buckeyes from Ohio State for the Cleveland Plain Dealer, and he is here now to explain his top five. Take a look. Alabama at the top, followed by Miami, then Houston and Cincinnati in the top five, and there's Florida down there at number 5. All right, Doug, let's start right there. Before we get to how you slotted this week, how do you typically go about filling out your ballot? What's the process that you go through?
I try to look at every team as Team X. I don't care about their jersey. I don't care about the preseason perception, and I just base it 80-90% is on-field results, and it is definitely a reflection of what has happened, not a prediction of what will happen. So I think if, for instance, if Houston had Texas on their jersey instead of Houston on their jersey, and they had 2 wins and one was at Oklahoma State, I don't think anybody would argue with them being a top 5 team, but because they're Houston, people argue.
That's a very good point. All right, what are you looking for specifically from a team each week when you consider whether or not they go up or down in the poll?
I try to not even look at it as up or down. I try not to reference my ballot from the previous week. I try to look at everybody from scratch and at the totality of their resume. And I'm just looking for, did they win, and what is the quality of their win? So I don't even think of it as rising or dropping. I try to look at everyone fresh each week and look at them for their entire season so far.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And a lot of people think that more voters should do it the way you've just explained how you handle it. But how do you explain Florida at number 5 when everyone else, with the exception of one other voter who also has them at 5, has them at number 1?
I think I explain it with Charleston Southern, Troy, and the tight win against Tennessee. They don't have the kind of wins that Alabama has against Virginia Tech, that Houston has against Oklahoma State, that Cincinnati has with 2 road wins at Oregon State and Rutgers, that other teams just have better quality of wins. And frankly, I'm not sure Florida could have done anything to this point to have me make them number 1 when they haven't played a quality of team, for instance, like Virginia Tech, that Alabama has already beaten. So it's really just the quality of opponents so far. If Florida runs the table in the SEC, I think they'll have the quality of opponent, and my ballot will look a lot like everybody else's. It just doesn't look that way right now, based on the results on the field so far. All
right, very good. It makes perfect sense. It might not look like everybody else's ballot or poll, but you have a vote, and that's all that counts. Doug, thanks for coming on and explaining it. We appreciate it.